Hey there, Tracy here. Welcome back to my channel and our Craft Roulette 6th Birthday Bash process video hop. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a gatefold as my trifold. And I hope that you'll follow along the hop. So let's just go ahead and jump into the video. All right, so let me just show you what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the Hey Diddle Diddle stamp set and coordinating dies from Trinity Stamps. I'm going to be using our Simply Sentimental Baby coordinating dies. And I'm going to be using our Slide and Spin die set. And I've already taken out the die, which is, well, it looks like something might be able to jump over the moon on. So, and I'll also be using a Snap and Slide from Pear Blossom Press, and I will link those below. And here I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch piece of paper. That's my back piece. And then my gatefold, which is 11 by 4 1/2. And then I have a 2 1/4 by 11 strip, which is going to be my belly band. So what I'm going to do so that I can get my vegetable garden colors is I'm going to make sort of a sunset. And listen, I'm not looking for a perfect sunset. I'm just going to throw some color on here. And I'm going to do both sides, and I do have this sped up. So I'm going to be using my Stellar inks today, mostly Stellars, I think, and just kind of just going along in a line. So I started out with Tropical Tango, no, Remember Me, and now I'm coming in with Prom Queen. Yeah, Prom Queen. And just kind of blending the two together best I can. I've got here some Guppy and trying to blend that with my pink. My pink is a little bit over inked, and I did try to tap off, but yeah, whatever. So I'll come in with the Guppy, and then finally I'm going to come in with Slippery When Wet. And I'm just going to flip it over and do the other side exactly the same. And I'll also do the back the same. So I figured a trifold is going to be, you know, a gatefold would work as a trifold, but I did consult with my partners in crime here today for our hop to make sure that that would count as a trifold. And I'm just kind of coming back and forth with color here. Just again, kind of blend it out best I can. I'm using some Hammermill 100-pound paper, and I would say that it's not my favorite for blending. I much prefer a Bristol Smooth, but I didn't want a super thick card, so there's that. And just again coming in with those same 4 colors so that I've got my vegetables, which would be tomatoes and peppers and yellow peppers and carrots and squash. I don't know of anything blue that grows in a vegetable garden. I guess, well, blueberries aren't a vegetable. So I'm scoring this at 2 3/4 on either side. And it looks funny now that it's not sped up. And that's going to provide me with my gatefold. And my paper is still pretty wet, so I do want to kind of be careful with it because you can see that I've saturated it on both sides. And I've actually oversaturated a little bit there on the top edge. And that's because my cutter, I used my slide cutter, and it cut kind of a slightly jagged edge. So that's one thing to consider if your slide cutter blades are dull, is that you may not see the jagged edge, but it'll sure pick up ink if you're inking it. So I'll just get those fold over, and then I'm going to go ahead and find the placement. So I'm using my grid mat here to kind of lay this out even, and I'm going to grab my die, and I'm going to get it as centered as best as possible and straight in there, and I'm just sort of auditioning how things are going to fit and go. Now with the snap and slides, you have a little bit of leeway as far as space between where I'm going to glue the moon and where the cow's going to get glued. So I'll go ahead and tape that down and cut it out. And I'll need to cut that out on my Vagabond because it's a bigger piece. And I am going to tape it down though because, yeah, I've got placement going here and I want my placement to stay in place. And so sorry for the funny voice. I have been suffering a cold and bronchitis and hoping that I get through this voiceover without too much interruption. All right, got a little schmutz on there. It happens. There's always paper on my cutting pads. So this is all going to fit together nicely. So I have a link listed down below for the playlist, for the hot playlist. And all you need to do is click that link and it'll pull up the playlist for you, and you can watch all the videos and give everybody lots of love. So I'm going to stamp and color all of these off camera because it's going to take a long time. I'm doing a lot of them. And I'll go ahead and put together the mechanism. So I'm just putting in my snap and slide. I love these things. And then checking my back. And then I have here just a piece of foam that I bought from Michael's, a big old pile of them. They don't have any glue on them whatsoever. And I just want to make sure that's going to fit on there. I'm going to trim it off a little bit. And then I'm just going to take my pencil, just a white pencil, and just kind of draw a mark around where I think kind of everything goes. You know, I kind of felt for the little snap and slide. And then refine it as I go. And that's going to, you know, give me the space that I need on the back. So I'll just trim this out till it looks good, till it looks like I'm not going to have anything in the way. And that covers that. You could do this in any way you wanted to. You could use leftover papers or regular foam tape, but I just find it easiest to go this way, all in one fell swoop. And then I'll go ahead and just glue down my back piece. And I will decorate the back a little bit too. Look, I made a smiley face. I'm not the best artist. And I'll just slippy slide that around until it fits on there, and I'll trim off any excess. And then I took a purple marker and marked inside of there because I didn't want the white, and I didn't remember to color the other side of that one. Sorry, friends, I've been sick. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to make this video, but I really wanted to, you know, send my congratulations to Mary and the and Mr. Producer and the Craft Roulette crew for their 6th year. So I'll just glue my moon down flat, and then I'm going to tape my little cow down. And I'm just going to use some double-sided sticky tape here, some baloney tape. There are little sticky dots that you can get for these snap and slides. I don't have any, or if I do, I don't know where they are. So anyway, I'll struggle here a little with that baloney tape. And I'll put that right about in the middle and just put my cow, just like so. And now cow can move. Now you want to make sure its tail isn't hanging over when you close the flaps. And then I'll go ahead and decorate the inside. And so we had an element of stars, and so I've got some tiny stars. And friends, I fussy cut those stars, not the yellow ones you're seeing, but the yellow ones on the top right, because I didn't want any white border on them. So there is a die that goes with them, but I didn't want the white border. So I fussy cut them, and I fussy cut quite a few of them. I'm going to put 3 on this page, and then I'm going to go ahead and decorate the middles. And then, of course, the random was nursery, and so I felt like Hey Diddle Diddle was definitely a nursery rhyme, and as soon as I saw that parameter, I knew this was the set I was going to use. And I have a feeling some of my comrades will be also using that, but who knows? You never know. I've seen tons and tons of cute cards already posted over on the Craft Roulette Facebook page. Let's grab a couple more stars. So I'm just putting 2 on either side, and then 3 in the middle. And then I've got We're Over the Moon for Your Family for my inside sentiment. And then if you wanted to write on it, you could, of course, write in the rainbow space, which is supposed to be a sunset. And then here it is so it can close. I'm going to go ahead and glue down a couple of clouds on the outside flaps. I don't want to go too far on the outside flaps, but I do want a couple more of the elements from the stamp set. And then I've got my belly band, and I've colored that also with the Remember Me. And I'm going to just carefully wrap this around. I end up getting it too tight, friends. It happens, you know. If you get it too tight, take it off and do it over. But because I struggled a little bit with it later. Now, if you make a belly band like that and it is kind of tight, but not actually too tight, if you just slide it back and forth a few times, eventually it'll relax itself. And then I've got Hey Diddle Diddle from the Hey Diddle Diddle stamp set, and Someone New, Someone Little, and then Baby from the Simply Sentimental Baby. With these, they're nice and bubbly, so sometimes you need to add a little bit of extra glue underneath for them to stick down. I'm just going to put something on here while I do the rest. And I'll do the baby and make sure I get plenty of glue on there. And I'm doing these all catty corner because I want them to mostly fit. I did double up those sentiments and with 2 shadow layers. And that is some yellow embossing powder. Oops, I didn't want glue on those outside edges. So that they, you know, when moving the belly band, they wouldn't break. And then I'm going to glue down my little cat and my little dog. So there's the cat in the fiddle, which clues you in right away to the nursery rhyme. And then the dog that's laughing, but I didn't do his ha-ha-ha's because I didn't want to get too busy on the card. Then I'll do another cloud on my belly band. And then those 3 yellow stars, which I just cut out with the die itself. Let's see, can I get this to move? You have to mess with it quite a bit. You know, friends, my excuse here is I'm sick, so I'm not 100% on my game, but I really wanted to take part in this hop. Okay, let's mess with it. Okay, I see the problem. I didn't see the problem before, but I'm stuck on my cloud. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to do the back. So I've got a lot of fingerprints on the back. I made a hot mess, friends. So, but I mean, they can look like clouds. And again, it's handmade, not Hallmark. And I'll just take the rest of my little fussy cut stars and decorate the back. You could put the spoon and the fork running away if you wanted to on the back. And I thought about it, but I changed my mind because I was already struggling with my belly band. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm pointing at there, but I'm pointing at something. Let's make sure this is good and stuck down. And we'll just kind of carefully slide this back on. It just wants to fight me. That's one thing about a side gatefold like that and a belly band. It's hard to manipulate that belly band over that center line, but you can do it. We'll just add these last 3 stars and we'll call it a day. There's my little card, front, back. And let's one more time fight with this belly band. See, it's already sliding easier. And there's our cow that jumped over the moon. And he spins too. He's just a happy little flying cow. See, right here is where I struggle, is with that center. Getting those pieces in. So make sure when you're doing your belly band, you make it a little bit looser than I did. Anyway, come on, you can do it. Get on there. There we go. I like it over there just off to the side a little bit too, but it covers up my little dog, so there it is. Hope you liked the video. If you do, please leave me a thumbs up and leave a comment below, and don't forget to follow the hop. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and spending time with me today. Take care. Bye-bye.